Listen. Welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings, where I will probably not give you 3 hours today, but I think most people will be understanding of that. It has been a long weekend. I've talked about the Joe Fest hangover. Well, let me tell you, the Stream-A-Thon hangover is probably just as bad. I've spent a lot of time in this chair. I thank every single one of you for showing up. The people that came on, the people who donated. There were some that donated immensely, and I cannot say thank you enough. There were some people that donated $277, and I can't thank you enough, because it was all about donating just a little bit of what you had to this cause. And yes, I know many of you donated at home, to your own places. And to anyone that was offended by me saying, why do you hate the kids? Well, if you don't know the show and you don't understand how I am, then don't give a shit what I say. It doesn't really matter. But I thank every single one of you that did give a little bit of time, a little bit of your money, because in all honesty, we work really hard. But please, we are in a hobby where we spend endless amounts of cash on toys, stuff that we don't need. They are luxury items. So anyway, we will get to the totals in a second. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I tell you guys what I did, but I think everyone got to see exactly what I did. And I can say I'm pretty sure this is going to be an annual event. And I hope you guys will all want to do that, because I think we did raise a pretty nice chunk of change. And hopefully next year, the channel should be bigger. Hopefully we'll have more guests. There's a lot of things that I know that I can work out to be a little bit better. But in the end, it was just an amazing event. And I was actually talking to Tony's Figs today, and I was saying, Joe Fest is us hanging out, but this was the closest thing that I can think to. I don't have to go anywhere. I was the one that chose to speak, to be here for, the 36 plus hours, but to have people kind of roll in and just having your friends here. And it's better in person, no doubt about it. But this was a close second. So I definitely enjoyed absolutely every single one of you that came on. No one caused a problem. I have to say thank you to 3-Star. There was a big lull, and he stuck around. And again, I would expect nothing less from someone like him. So thank you anyway, Darren. And again, that's no disrespect towards anyone else. You guys have lives. Darren clearly does not. Although he had to let Pretzel out, I ran a bunch of the commercials, and I'll run a couple more commercials just so you can see him. I think a lot of people found him funny. And he came back and he's like, I did a lot. I took Pretzel out. I ate. I ate a sandwich. I went to the bathroom. I was like, it's only been like 5 minutes, dude. So anyway, I'm really excited. 50 people here right now. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button. The oddest thing, that first day, all right, I started off with, hold on, I can tell you kind of what I had in subs, okay? I started off with 5,672 subs that first day. When I woke up the next morning, throughout that day, I had lost 2 subs. I've actually looked at it. There was actually there was at least 2 people that gave a thumbs down to 2 of the legs of the Streamathon. Those are people that obviously really do hate kids. So anyway, let's get to it. Let's say hi to the chat, because let's be honest, there is a lot of people in there right now. And thank you guys all. And we have to start right away with a... Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
A $4.99 super chat from Ted Darklaw for the #1 Monday night live stream. Stay sassy. That all comes. He had Yojo Jerk and Toy Games on yesterday. They did, and he made something. He made some comment about they're clearly the 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 best show or the number one shows on uh, Mondays and Thursdays, and I was like, oh, really? The number one or something like that. So all in good fun because I like those guys. We had them on. That was a really good segment. So you should go watch that. First part of the fourth leg. So anyway, we have Caleb's Adventure Wave. I don't believe I've ever seen you here before. You make the best. Thank you very much. That is some really high praise. I don't think so, but thank you very much. Christoph Scuba, Mr. Wonderful is here. Stanley Everhart. We have a Johnny Areno, PNC, Richard Burns, GI Bro. We have a Ronnie Trickshot, Snow Wolf, Menhoza. We have a Woody 222, the Figure Collector, Yo Punk, and People's Pain Toy Samples is here. Francie Brady is here. We have one moderator, Matthew Matson. I think he might be the only one today because Ed flew out to Texas to get his daughter. Who I think just graduated basic training for the Air Force. I might be wrong. And he's going to be driving back with her. So, you know what? You got to spend time with your family. So I'm not going to fault him for that at all. Jay Astro is here. We have Plastic Fantastic. I hope you're getting started on that Wolverine because we got a Wolverine to give away. Plastic Fantastic. We have Brady McBearderson is here. Let's see here. David R. has joined us. Legend Series, who jumped on. You want to talk about a guy that knows a wealth of wrestling news and old news, new news, all kinds of stuff. This is the guy. So check out his stuff. We have Same Time Toys, who has joined us. We have Turk Murphy's Toy Solutions. You were one of the stars. You donated a lot. You actually ended up with that Starduster. But you and I both know that you donated way more than that thing was worth. Or I don't say worth, but what it costs. So thank you very much. You haven't been around, and believe me, I noticed because I notice when the people I like haven't been around in a while. So I hope you're going to stick around for a bit. We have Gun Bunnies Custom, who is here. I totally miss Same Time Toys, who is right here, Same Time Toys. Woo! We have Tony's Figs, who I've already spoken to on the phone today. We have Len S. That's what you're going to get, guys. I'm going to screw it up if I try and do it.
Welcome to the Creamery.
And we have Soul Brother number 1, who became a channel YouTube member, right? Became a YouTube member. Thank you very much. Definitely appreciate it. We have Mr. Wonderful, who I think I may have already said. We have Trust a Star Screamer. I thought you would be taking a break tonight. I should. True Star Screamer. I have issues, all right? I'm not going to lie. I don't plan on going 3 hours today, but who knows? I got to wake up early. I'll go over. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, and it's frustrating. It's exhausting. Not frustrating. It's exhausting. We have Red Toys Galaxy, who has joined us. We have Lone Dragon, who is in the house. There he is. 3-star draw. Darren. That's how I like to refer to him because he is technically a friend. Bill K. We have Tripwire 788 who has joined us. They don't rake my leaves or shovel my snow. I'm not sure. See, sometimes I should not read the chat because they're referencing somebody else. We have Viper Scout who is here. Grizzlehorn has joined us. Woo. We have Richard Burns. We have Judge Dreads. Did I say GI Bro? I didn't because I didn't mention anything about the best guns in the community. It's great to have him here. Somehow some video came up of some old-time guitarist who is in really great shape, and he's putting oil on his arms. And all I can think of is GI Bro, like before Joe Fest, like getting ready. He's in the hotel before he goes down. He's putting on the baby oil, so those guns are just glistening. Sabir, who is here, 80s Toy Boy, has joined us. We have Nolan, which from what I understand makes us Toy Tube official. Eric Perriman, who is here. I believe you were in a lot over the past weekend or so thank you very much. We have Ray Black, Josh C, too lazy to keep chat open on my phone, but thanks so much for the past weekend. I'm looking forward to watching what I missed and finding even more channels I don't have time to keep up with. Honestly, it's one of those things that is very difficult, but you know what? I think you'll enjoy it. Boba Fett Gaming here. Astro Thomas Toys is here. We have Aaron E. Nichols. Thank you, whoever gifted me a channel membership. I got an email today notifying me. More than likely, it was John from Sergeant Reds because he was just blasting them out there. And a lot of it did to hear my daughter say, "Welcome to the Creamery," which she did. She did it 50 times in a row as Just Jeff shaved his head, which in itself was absolutely amazing. That he's shaving his head. She's sitting here yelling, saying, "Welcome to the Creamery" 50 times. I think it was Gaines that said, "What is it, a circus?" And it pretty much was just that, a total circus. And I think that's all the people right now. Please hit that like button. Go over and vote. What do we have? We have 54 votes, and 6% didn't even know about it. Now, I don't want to be a dick. Well, sometimes I do. Let's say hi to Aaron, the toy enhancer, who was also on and donated to Turk that fine Stardust. And that is an actual fine figure, to be 100% honest. But if you didn't really know about it, I don't know how you could not have. Everyone was promoting it. There were so many people that promoted it. And thank you to every single one of you that did, because my reach only goes so far. And even though a lot of us travel in the same circles, there were a lot of people that put it out there. And I can't thank you enough. All right. So for the totals. Now remember, guys, YouTube does take their cut. I told you we would do everything that the channel has makes for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then also including anything that was sent to PayPal. And if you still want to donate to PayPal through today, you still can at ljfrontera@gmail.com. That's my PayPal. If anyone donates today through that, I'll put that towards this. So our Friday total after everything through YouTube was $866.48. On Saturday, that's Friday, right? Saturday, $841.94. And then Sunday wasn't very much, but there were a couple super thanks that came in, and that turned out to be $41.89. And then through PayPal, it was $1,243 for a grand total of $2,994.31. So we're just going to round it up to 3,000. I've already talked to them at Sergeant Reds. I went out there. So we raised $3,000 basically over 2 days. Like I said, I will just throw on, Sunday. But again, as you can see, if I'm not making content, I don't, it doesn't create a lot of money. But I wanted to put out there people could do the super thanks, and there was like a super thanks of $20 and $10. So I definitely appreciated it. That all went on to it. There was a PayPal that was sent to me for $20 after. So thank you. It's huge. Eternian Royalty has joined us. Thank you very much. And again, if you guys are wondering what this is, I will be going to Sergeant Reds. They will be giving everything to us at cost. He already has a list of the toys that he gives, girl toys, boy toys. So it's not just all action figures. It's not super old stuff. It's all modern stuff because these are kids that deserve it. The Marines will be coming in. Larry Bogus, Sergeant Bogus, that is actually his name. He jumped in right at the beginning. I thought it was someone just doing a play on words for my name, Larry. But no, Sergeant Bogus. I'm telling you, there are still people doing push-ups that had to laugh when they found out that their drill sergeant was Sergeant Bogus, right? I mean, come on, dude, that's got to make you laugh. We have Cobra Commander who has jumped in here, and a Sharlock 3K. Nice work, Lawrence. No, all I did was sit here. You guys did all the heavy lifting. You donated, and a Cobra Commander. Thank you very much. That will be one of the giveaways. So as I talked about, I'll be having 4 giveaways. Right? Is it 4? I think it's 4 giveaways. Black Friday. All right. So we're going to be giving away. Oh no, 5. A dock, which I have over there. Oh, over there. Dock. Retro Beachhead. Retro Cobra Commander. A Wolverine 3D printed by Plastic Fantastic. And that tiger paw right there. So we'll be doing it on Black Friday. I always do a Black Friday giveaway since I started doing live streams. It's actually how I kicked this thing off. We're going to be making some modifications to it, obviously, as we're going to be giving away multiple things. I figure if we can do this annually, why not just make this the lead up to it? So that's what we're going to be doing. I haven't figured out exactly how we're going to do it. Roman hasn't either. I don't know if you heard that. So we have Krusty Old Crow who is jumping in here. And then we have, I just saw, thank you very much. All of you guys. Hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button. But again, I couldn't have done this without you. And seriously, let's just do the big thank you to everyone. Thank you to Mark from Gridiron. Tony jumped on at the same time. Thank you to Frostbite. I had a blast. I had an absolute blast. Matthew Matson, thank you very much. He jumped on. We made our jokes about the G.I. Joe artwork from the 80s. That was, oh my God, I was crying. Thank you to the Backyard Battlefield. Darren, Aaron, and Crow. And then obviously we did Raiders of the Lost Ark for Punks on Film. The wrestling one, probably the biggest lull, but it was like 1 a.m. But the people that were in it, the people that were on, you could tell they love wrestling. People that stuck around, listening, making comments, they obviously love wrestling. So Legend Series, Ted Darklaw, Aaron Black Knight, Mr. Wonderful, and me. There's 5 of us. And that led into the Australians with no name, Ronnie Trickshot, and Shark Eyes. And Ronnie, my head still hurts from how loud you had some of those sound effects. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. And you know what? I asked my daughter. She said she slept through everything. She said, I sleep like a baby. I'm like, you guys came. Man, you guys came hard. All right, God, that's it. Did I say that? I did just say that. So what do you guys say to that?
That's what she said.
You guys brought it. You guys were the most prepared of all the shows, right? Like you just came in, you had this list, and it's in the second leg towards the end. All right? Go watch it. It's almost 2 hours, hour and a half. And well, you would have thought they were the ones up at 4 a.m, not me, because they were so slap happy. And let me just say, I had just done a show with Ronnie Trickshot, and he seemed like this really even keel guy. And man, he came in, guns a-blazing. He's laughing his ass off. I had an absolute blast. But after that, it led right into, once again, my other moderator, Ed, who was with us almost the whole time, along with Matthew. Him and Oz taking over Clubhouse Coffee. There were some people that popped on there, Payne, and a few other guys. I'm sorry that I can't think of who else it was. I can, but you know how your mind works. Dude, it was awesome. So they did that. They popped on until Allison, who I have to give a huge thank you. Allison is in the middle of moving, and we did a coloring. I still haven't finished my coloring. We colored Stitch. It was just a nice time to sit back, relax, shoot the shit, talk about everything. And she's in the process of moving. And we all know moving can suck. But she's moving 6 hours away. Her and her boyfriend, they moved to this old folks community where they're going to be like the terrors of everything. And she made sure that she was going to be available. And for that, I cannot say thank you enough. And she's probably not here right now because she's probably in the process of some big long ass drive. And after that, well, we had a few other people on. And then we were going to have John from Top Fun Retro Toys, which I got to add that link to it. Oh, yeah, Lone Jet. Yeah, Toy Habits was on for a while. Michael from Toy Habits. Kenzo's Creation was on. I don't know. There was all kinds of people. Again, I'm thinking of the people that I actually had scheduled. So anyway, right before Top Fun Toys, Dee and John from Sergeant Reds, they jumped on, and everyone finally got to really see their store. And I believe at that point, people went, I hate you, punk. You have that store. And you could hear the collective sigh as they were walking through everything. And yes, that's the store. And I have wonderful stores in my area, and I feel bad for the people that don't even have one good store. I have multiple, but I especially have that one. John from Top Fun Toys showed off all kinds of stuff for his 3D print. Again, if you go to Top Fun Toys, Top Fun Retro Toy, you'll find it. It's the only 3D printed weapons with that similar website. If you use my code Punk with Toys, drop the A, Punk with Toys, you'll get 10% off everything. He's got some awesome stuff. He showed it all off. And then after that, Darren stuck around where luckily, like the Nemesis Enforcer was shown off. There was a bunch of stuff that was shown off at San Diego, London. So that was a blast. After that, Tony and KJ came on where we did a little bit customizing. It's more talking. You realize it's hard to follow the chat and do all that other stuff. And then after that, we actually had a couple surprise guests. And that was Just Jeff, Toy Gains, and Yojo Jerk. And while they can't be on right now for sure, they're obviously not in the chat because they're live right now. And it was great to talk to them. It got a little serious when he asked me about what was the issue with the shark or shark eyes, or no, not shark eyes. Sorry, that's the only shark. Whatever his name is this week, I don't know. And I told the whole story, and he really didn't know. And I told the whole story, and hey, you know what? He wanted to know, and you know me, I'm gonna tell you exactly from my point of view. But then we watched Just Jeff shave his head. He said if they get $100 in donations, he'll shave his head live. He had the greatest pair of razors the greatest razor I've ever seen in my entire life. It cut through that head like a hot knife with warm butter. It was crazy. And then John from Sergeant Rez dropped 50 memberships, and Olivia started doing the welcome to the creamery 50 times. It was a circus. And then basically that led right into the clubhouse takeover. I didn't even get to play the video, my video, because we went right into it. But go back, watch some of it. I'm going to probably clip some of it later on. Some of the shows. I really enjoyed it. Thank you to everyone. Dude, it was a fucking blast. It was a complete and utter fucking blast. And it's not even one of those things where I can sit here and when I talk about this show and say, man, it was a complete shit show, but people liked it. I was really happy with it. And I was happy with everyone. You people brought it. So many people. And like I said, there were some huge donations and there were some really little donations. But the point is you donated what you could, and that's what really matters. All right. It's all about the thought that counts. And when someone who makes a big donation, it doesn't mean that what they did is any better than the 99-cent donation, because it's what's coming from the heart, dude. SCS Dog is here. Good evening. Good job even remembering it all. I would have blacked out at some point. No, I remember it all. Believe me, I remember it all. Not Rachel has. Have you napped since? So, oddly enough, I jumped off a little after 6. I took about a 2-hour nap. That's when Ed and Oz took over for a little bit. Then I got right back on, I think before 10. And then, yeah, no, a little after 10 because I ran to get something to eat. I mean, no, wait a minute, is it? I don't know, dude. Okay, so that I don't remember. Matthew will probably tell me. He probably knows. I got so we went to a little after. Or I went to a little after 2 a.m. So I went to a little after 2, not just to 12. I think they stayed on about 3 hours longer, and I slept till I think 9:30. I got up and I had to be out of the house. I went to Sergeant Red's, talked to them. They had an event. I had to pick up Olivia, so I did a little bit of running around today. And then last night I was up pretty late. Woke up early, took Olivia to school. Then I came home and crashed. Now I am exhausted because my dad is out of town. So someone has to take care of his dog. My son was over there, but he doesn't drive. So he was over there all weekend. My ex wakes up. She messaged me early saying, please don't call me. Don't text me. My back is acting up. My foot is hurting. I need to sleep. Don't call me till after 12. I've called in for half. So I drove Olivia to school. I came home, went out. I actually tried doing some toy hunting because I don't know why. Like, I just can't sleep. I just like to get things done. I didn't do any grocery shopping. Picked up Olivia from school. Then I had to go pick up. And then she wanted to go get some stuff. Then I had to go get my son from, his son from my dad's. Then I had to take him to school. And then he called me right away and said, hey, I don't have to stay here. So we went back, came here. Then right before here, I had to run back to my dad's, which is about 20 minutes away, let the dog out again, and then drive back here. So, in all honesty, all I wanted to do was sleep. I've mentioned it before. There's many times that before the show starts, I just want to crash. I don't want to do it. But the live hits, and I am ready to go. So, anyway, woo, that was a mouthful. Thank you guys all. You guys are kicking ass. Thank you. Please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. All right. Yeah, I think you guys are so shocked that I'm here. Look at Mr. Mad Gus. Punk, you're up. I thought you would be asleep at least until Thursday. I've been walking around like a zombie the past 2 days. Yesterday, I was just like, dude, I was sleepwalking. I was like one of these sleepwalkers, right? So, and also, yeah, Dusty's gun, that FAMAS, oof, it actually looks pretty good in their hands. Way better than the steampunk stuff, in my personal opinion. All right, so let's talk about what we have coming this week. Holy shit. So I picked up this today. We went to Five Below. These things are awesome. And this is where a lot of us have to grow, but this is the farmer's market and there's all this stuff. I thought it'd be a really cool background. Maybe get roadblock buying some fresh produce. But all these things are just really cool, man. They're $5 and they fit perfectly with 1/12 scale figures. So if you're 5 and below, you can go pick them up. They have a bunch of different ones. If you find the grill's, that's the best one, I think. You've all seen it in the background of mine and other people's. I actually got the idea from Thanos Copter. So, it turns out the Iron Grenadier, the Iron Grenadier Bat, Alpine, and Bison Player 2 all in. So they are shipping from BBTS. Yes, I did not say Storm Shadow because that one didn't come out. It seems like everyone else is fucking finding that goddamn thing. I guess I'm not going to find it till later on. So when I finally get it, I will put that out. And there was the pre-orders that went up today. And for once, at least it seems like this, the Nemesis Immortal, all right, Nemesis Enforcer, for the people that get all butthurt that Hasbro doesn't have the rights to say Nemesis Enforcer, it was an in-stock item. So my guess is it should ship anytime now. So I'm guessing I'll have it probably by Thursday when all this other stuff, in theory, should be in. Let's say hi to Joe Fan 84 who is jumping in here. So yeah, it will be here probably this week. I'll get the review up. All those I'll be doing the reviews. I have the gridiron stuff that I have to do. The loadout for the doors. I don't even remember exactly everything, but the doors for it. I kind of finished that thing up, hopefully. And then I have all that top fun stuff, and I really got to get to that. And Matthew, I have not done the ghillie suits. The goal is hopefully it's supposed to be nice this weekend to go out and shoot the footage that I want to get for the ghillie suits and then bring it back in. And I'm probably going to do a more dubbed over, something I normally don't do, type of reviewing the ghillie suits from Valiverse, Hasbro, and Gridiron. So you guys can see which you think is the best, which ones work. I think some of them, some of them kind of look decent. So, yeah, I bet. Yeah, I wanted to. I wanted to on actually Sunday I came and went, and I was like, oh, I meant to do that. I was actually gonna go do that, and it didn't happen. And then today I thought about it, and I ended up doing all this running around, and I really didn't think I was gonna. I didn't think I was gonna sleep this long. But yeah. I have been just a little busy. And Thursday with a friend. So this week, I don't have a friend. I'm going to have friends on. So if you were one of the people that were on the shows, I will be sending out links to you guys. I haven't even done a thumbnail or anything for it yet. So I will be doing Thursday with the friends. So Thursday with friends, basically. So if you want to jump on, if you're someone that helped with the shows, you'll have links sent out. You want to jump on, talk about your experience, what you liked, maybe what you didn't like, what you thought we could do better, just to tell everyone your experience. Because I think next year, there was a lot of downtime. There was some downtime, but I think it was managed fairly well until that Saturday gap. And again, if it wasn't for Darren, I would have just been rambling on like I do here. And I didn't realize that with the London Comic Con was actually going on. At London, I don't know, is that what it's called? And but we had a blast, and it was great that they showed us some stuff. What I realized is I didn't even load the slides. So anyway, let me get those loaded. But anyway, yeah, I had a blast. I really did. Again, I can only say thank you so many times before you guys think that I'm just totally bullshitting. But I really had a blast doing this. And I want this to be an annual thing. Holy shit, what the hell? God damn it. Well, we got a problem. Because I didn't bother to check the size of the file because I added a bunch of pictures. So now I got to go here while we're doing this and quickly delete some pictures because I guess I don't need that many pictures. The Nemesis Immortal clearly caused some issues with the size of it. Of course, it's just over. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about. Well, actually, I wouldn't expect you guys to know what I'm talking about because, well, you're not in my house. I did see someone new did I see someone new? Man. I'll go all the way down to the bottom here. We have Rip Jaw Collects. Hey, how's everyone? Great to see you. I don't think I've ever seen you here, so thank you very much. Derek, I mean, you can say it's kind of meh. And I can understand that feeling, but I think a lot of what it comes down to is just the fact that they have so many events that eventually you start going, you start going, well, I don't really need, I didn't need to see this, they want to give you something in every one. So eventually, yeah, it just kind of kind of comes off like that. White Vegeta, I don't know how if I'm saying that right. Nice to see you here. All right, so let me delete some of these stupid pictures here. See if I can get it under what it's supposed to be. For what's supposed to be like an easy night for me, now it's like, good Lord, I gotta redo this while I'm sitting here. But bear with me. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do right now while I do this is I'm gonna let you watch one of the commercials.
Oh, hey guys, welcome to the 36-hour Punk with Toys for Tots Stream-A-Thon. Yeah! So we all know Lawrence, sometimes he can be a little bit sassy. But for the next 36 hours, Lawrence, he's raising money for Toys for Tots. And so he's going to take all the money that this channel makes, so through your super chats and your super stickers or the memberships or all the monies, guys. And he's going to use that to go to Sergeant Reds and buy toys and donate them directly to Toys for Tots. But don't worry, you don't have to just watch Lawrence for 36 hours. He's bringing actually a lot of friends to come help. A lot of great content creators like Allison Troy, Punks on Film, Osterdom's Toys Clubhouse, Helido Toys, and just a whole bunch more, guys. And you can support just by sending a super chat or becoming a channel member or even maybe just reaching out to Lawrence with a direct donation. There's also a note here from Lawrence. What does that say? It says, tell them I'm not just going to buy G.I. Joe figures and gridiron stuff with the money. So we got 36 hours, guys. So let's go ahead and grab our favorite can of spicy barbecue Pringle chips and just sit back and enjoy all the amazing content.
Okay, and because I'm not done, here you go again for another one.
Oh, hey guys, it's Mossman again.
And Dopey.
No, you're not part of this one.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome back to the Punk with Toys for Tots Streamathon. So this is going on from October 25th through October 27th, which is streaming non-stop. So we've made a whole bunch of money so far to donate for Toys for Tots, but we can still keep going. We still got some time left. So if you want to participate, you can send a super chat or a super sticker, or maybe even consider becoming a channel member. And all that money, Lawrence is going to take that and go to this really cool toy store, Sergeant Reds. He's going to buy toys, and all that's going to get donated for Toys for Tots. But anyway, we still got a whole bunch of really awesome content coming from a lot of great content creators. So let's get back to the show.
All right, so there you go. That was the third one. You know, while we're at it, you might as well see all of them. These were all done by Helido Toys, Ted himself. So here's the third one. They're not long.
Oh, hey guys, if you're just tuning in, man, you've missed a lot of great content, but there's still a whole bunch more going on because this stream's 36 hours long. This stream's going on from October 25th through October 27th, and all the revenue that this channel makes is going to go to Toys for Tots. So Lawrence, he's going to go to this really cool toy store called Sergeant Reds. He's going to buy a bunch of toys for all the little kids in need. And you can help donate by sending super chats or super stickers, or maybe even consider becoming a channel member. So if you don't like Lawrence, then you can just send a bunch of mean super chats. Be like, Lawrence, you suck. Your content isn't good. You're biased against Valiverse, and all you do is buy gridiron stuff, and then you say it's really great, but it's actually overpriced crap, or, yeah, you know, whatever mean things y'all want to say to him. Anyway, we still have a whole bunch more content coming, so, you know, send that mean super chat to Lawrence. Enjoy the show!
Okay. So you want to see how this ended, don't you? Well, here you go. Don't leave. 87 people here. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. Here we go with the last one. And then I promise I'll be back after that.
Hey guys, so just a heads up. Somebody made such a mess in Lawrence's bathroom, so don't go in there for a little bit. I'm gonna blame Dopey back here, stinking up the dang toilets. But anyway, welcome back to a Punk with Toys for Tots Streamathon, where for the next 36 hours, October 25th through October 27th, all the channel revenue is going to be donated to Toys for Tots. So he's going to go to this really cool toy store called Sergeant Reds. He's going to buy a bunch of action figures, and he's going to donate them to kids in need. But anyway, there's still a whole bunch more awesome content coming up from a lot of your favorite creators. So make sure you stay tuned for the whole time and just watch the whole show. And make sure you send some super chats or something. But all right, I gotta go take care of this real quick. Bye.
All right, so there you go. We have Stiff Kitten Review saying congratulations to you, all the participants, and one who kindly donated during the Stream-A-Thon. Yes, thank you. You said it. I can't say it any better than that. It's just a big thank you. You guys all did such an amazing job, and I'm so happy about it. We have Ted Darkclock says, I fell asleep on the couch with my headphones in. I heard Mossman and thought I was having a fever dream. You know what? I can only imagine. But what we started doing it as it was, man, like you start realizing like I might not do the voice as good as you. I know I don't because it's your voice. But man, you start talking like that. Oh no, Sergeant Reds, he's donated so many memberships. And I don't know if Lawrence can be able to keep up with all those channel memberships. But you know what? He's going to try. That is for sure because it is for Toys for Tots. Anyway. And Ken from Toy Connections, can't think of his name. But hey, Ted, I hope you are ready for next year because you realize you now have to one-up yourself with these commercials that you do. Honestly, it is awesome. Legend Series says, I gotta submit some voice stuff next year. Dude, please. I do feel bad I don't feel bad asking Ted. I don't feel bad asking Ted. Although he's probably like, God damn it, you're asking me to do this again. I'm so tired of this Moss Man. And what's hilarious is they keep like, now they're like, just so everyone knows, they gave me exclusive rights to Moss Man commercials, which means no one else that promotes them can use Moss Man. I hate to say it, I'm kind of a dick about it because I want it. Like, he's like, there are 3 other videos that this came from, everyone. You can go watch it on our channel. Like there was a whole series that they were doing. Oops, Roll Keeper has jumped in here. So please. And True Star Screamer says, I would love to help out next year, but people need to know who I am. So I got a year to get YouTube famous. Not, you know what? Let me explain something. It's not about, and it's the thing that I wanted to do. I could have asked guys like Geek Dead Life, Toy Anxiety. I could have reached out to Dan Larson, I probably should have because he actually has a relationship with Sergeant Reds. But I could have reached out to Dan, who like a lot of these bigger YouTubers, right? And said, hey, can you come on? But when I sat back and I thought about it, the last thing that I would want is that here I am doing something and all these people that have supported me, that have shows, that are putting out content, are looking at it going, well, it's great that you're raising money, but it would have been nice had we been asked to do it. If you watch my Thursday with the Friend, it is all about trying to have people on that have supported me. So True Star Screamer, know this, like you have jumped into the chat. You have been really good. You've been a good part of this community. So no, it's not about how big you are, man. More than anything, if you're small, it's me hoping that I can help you guys out while you're helping me, raise, money for Toys for Tots. Again, that's why I do, Thursday with the Friend. I want to showcase the people that have helped me. So don't think like that at all, man, because that's not what this is about, man. That is not what this should be about. There's a lot of YouTubers that the only people they want to show up and help or have on their show are people bigger than them because they think, hey, if I have the big guys on, they're going to help me. What a shitty way to think about life, man. The only way that you want to be with someone is if they can help you. Never thinking about how you can help someone else, man. So don't think like that, man. You stay in this community and you're good here. And I mean, yeah, I'd love to have, as many people on as possible. We have Joe Gonsalves here. Next year, I'll be big enough to be on too. No, dude, again, I sent you a link, man. Did I not? I thought I sent you a link to pop on. But it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter, right? At least I thought I did. If I forget, if I did, I apologize. You start sending out links. Yeah. So just, yeah. No, dude, I don't want anyone to ever think like I hate that. You know, I'm not a. If you're into autographs, that's awesome. I'm not an autograph seeker. And the reason for it is no one is better than me and I'm better than no one else. And I've just always felt like that, going back to when I was a kid. So I don't like people thinking like that. And I'm not saying you fully believe like that. I know you're probably, kind of tongue in cheek and everything, but I just don't want anyone to think like that, man. The only difference between me and everyone else is that a lot of times I was just someone who's willing to sit down and do this. And for some odd reason, people enjoy watching this shit show. I found a way to make an awful show. This is an awful show to make it entertaining. So, and a lot of that entertaining comes from this man right here, Uncle Todd, McFarlane Toys, showing off some stuff. Now, I know there was a lot of other stuff that was shown off. I'm only showing off the promotional pics. It has been a long couple days. So as I said, I don't plan on doing a full 3 hours, or maybe I'll do maybe I'll come close. I can't say for sure. But here we go. We have Solomon Grundy and Batman. And again, yeah, I don't fully get this. I actually think the paint on Solomon Grundy looks pretty good. But we always like to kick off having a Batman war chest full of toys. I'm planning to collect donations for eggs next year. I'll be doing a drive-by at Toy Federations while streaming it live. I don't have any issue with Toy Fed, but this is all for the kids. Whatever you do, you do. I know very little about Toy Federation other than they try and do a not a serial, like a Saturday morning thing, and they have a bunch of different content creators and shows that they put on, and I think it's a wonderful idea. I don't know how well it works for them, but I know they're a toy store, so I don't know. It sounds like you're just tongue in cheek. I would hope so. Yeah. Full disclaimer, I did not say that. All right. I feel like Jim Rome. Anytime someone sends him a text or an email, and he's like, I it wasn't me. That was one of the commenters. It wasn't me that said it. Anyway, Solomon Grundy here. I think it looks pretty cool. I actually like the way Batman looks, but I just don't know if we needed that. So the bones here, you can see the rope. But it is a very interesting look. That is for sure. I'm not sure who wants this, but how many times can we say that about McFarlane stuff and say, I don't know who wants this and who's buying this, other than now I know Toy Games is, and we always know Tony's Figs is. But Stiff Kitten says, repaint after repaint. Todd prides himself on how cheap his figures are, but you have to wonder how much he pays the children in the Chinese sweatshops. Well, unfortunately, that's all of them. It's too bad. That's where these things are being made, and you have them shifting. If you actually look, I believe a lot of these are starting to be made in Vietnam again. I don't know about him. I believe a lot of I think some of the Hasbro stuff is now starting being shifted to Vietnam. I don't know if that's much better. But yeah, it is kind of crazy. But dude, that's how world economics are, unfortunately. So this is it is a neat looking figure. I don't know who's asking for it. The same thing can be said for Desert Snake Eyes. I don't know who's asking for it. I actually think it's a really good looking Snake Eyes. It's a fun figure. So, but if you want it, you'll have a chance to get it. I think this Batman is interesting. I don't know about the blue face, but if he was the proper scale, 6-inch, he would have gone really good with Monster Force. he was injected with the vampire blood, so now he can go off and kick some ass and not be controlled by the Forgotten King. The problem is he'd be like an inch taller than everyone because Uncle Todd won't use the scale that everyone else is. Well, I can't say everyone else because NECA doesn't use it. I'd say Super 7 Ultimates, but the truth is I don't. Oh boy. Okay. Sorry, my neighbor is texting me something. Just give me 1 second. You gotta take care of the neighbor's dogs. Well, I don't. Andrew does, and he left the door a little open for the dogs, like she did. Anyway, so here he is. I like this picture for some reason. It looks like Batman is like kind of like throwing out the thing. If you hear that, my daughter is blow drying her hair, so I don't need to do that. So Significant says Arkham Batman repaints. It looks like, yeah, I think that's what they said they were. But you're right. Like he has so much paint, like so many repaints. But the truth is, people are buying this stuff, right? Which I think is awesome. This is a weird look that he's firing a grappling hook with two hands. But again, did someone have a reason for the blue face? I mean, I'm not really sure what I'm missing with that. The Solomon Grundy, I guess I kind of understand. But yeah. And then there's the Justice League stuff, which what can I say? This may be one of the worst looking head sculpts I've ever seen. So maybe you like it, and if you do, that is awesome. This looks like it is a Pantene commercial, L'Oreal, something where his hair is flowing. I'm not sure why someone would want to have only this head sculpt. It just seems like an oxymoron. The figure looks fine. I believe this figure's already been done. He throws on a different head sculpt. He's giving you the dark side build the figure. But why? Why wouldn't you give another head sculpt where the hair is actually down a little bit? But yeah, the Nerd Alert L'Oreal. I was trying to think of like the hair products, right? Isn't that one? Like, isn't that one of them? I don't have to use a lot of hair product, all right? I buy Schick razors. That's how I do mine. There's a box for it. You see that you get the head and the hands. I'm not a big fan of Build-A-Figures. Another Batman. Now, these are cell shaded, I believe. And again, I'm not a big fan of cell shading. They just, I don't know. I understand cell shading in video games, and I understand it in cartoons. I really don't think many people want it on their figures. But there must be some sort of market for it, because both Hasbro and McFarlane said, hey, you know what we need to do? Yeah. Yes, Jay Astro, I almost said that. But I couldn't remember if that's makeup or if it's hair. Or maybe it's both. I just couldn't. The Nerd Alert says, it was perfect. Hey, I'm Paul too. I told you, I make a shitty show entertaining somehow, all right? And it's not from my good looks. I obviously say something that makes people laugh. Jay Solo Arts has joined us. These figures look like my attempts at customs. Okay, 100% honest. That is kind of how I feel. Like if I tried to paint, I feel like this is how my Batman would come out. All right, I feel like if I tried to paint, this is exactly how it would come out. Like it just wouldn't look right. I think these bucks are really good. So you get the arms for Darkseid here. Uh, I kind of like the idea that you have these. They're not blast effects; they're just fist effects where he's throwing fist and. But yeah, again, if you want them, he does have soft goods cape, right? That's a good. We have the Flash. I think the Flash actually looks pretty good. You don't see a lot of the cell shading. That is for sure. So he comes with the torso. Now he actually makes sense having these effects, right? Because he's going to be running, tossing these things, throwing them or whatever. He makes more sense than Batman, Aquaman, maybe. But Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman, they seem to make a little bit more. Toy Matrix says, yo, punk, yo, chat. There's no picture. No picture of what? It looks like a picture here. I have to laugh like this here. When they there's been a few of these Flash packaging, and it looks like he's like tiptoeing away or something. I always laugh at these for some reason. Toy Matrix says my screen is black. I think that is something on your end, because Tony says he sees it. I can see it on my YouTube here, obviously along with my StreamYard that I'm doing. I have 2 of them going, so I apologize, but I can't take the blame for that. I take a blame for a lot of things. I can't take blame for that. Superman, this might be the worst of them all. It looks like he has snow on him. All right, he looks like he has snow on him. Rollkeeper, I see you. Quick flash poll: who can see me and who can't see me? Maybe that's what my poll will be next week. Who can see me? Who can't? We only got 89 votes, and only one person did not enjoy the Stream-A-Thon. Only 1% didn't enjoy the Stream-A-Thon. I would assume that would be the same person. One of the people that gave it a thumbs down. I fully do believe. Look at this. We see you. The Nerd Alert says this is close to your pay-per-view channel. Do I have all squiggly lines through me? All kinds of squiggly lines. Snowwolf says, unfortunately, I can see Superman. Tripwire, is that a perm on? I don't think it's a perm, but he's got some pretty wild hair. It is clearly very humid wherever he flew. But doesn't he look like he has snow on him? And that head sculpt is awful. I did say that the Aquaman head sculpt may have been the worst. Well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I forgot how bad Superman's was. But he comes with the legs of a Darkseid, so, and he has some red. I mean, I think it looks awful. That doesn't even look cell shaded. It looks like he was flying so fast that he started to frost up, right? I mean, that's the feeling that I get. Josh C says, I recall no coloring like this on Superman in the 90s, which is where his hair is. There's too small. It is from. He doesn't have too small of a head. He has big shoulders. So there's a guy off topic. What's next? Okay, so there he is with the legs. Okay, we're doing Star Wars. Okay, I'm gonna remove this really quick. Okay, so there's a guy. I know he's on TikTok, right? And this is one of those things that once you see it, you'll never see it again. And he said pro bodybuilders, they look like somebody is wearing a suit, like a muscle suit. And that's because their traps are usually so big, it looks like they put the suit on and it comes up to where their shoulders are because the traps are so big. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I forget who posted it. And I went and I found the guy and I'm listening, and he's talking about it. He's like, I thought everyone saw it like that. He goes, I didn't realize that this was something that only like me and my friends had seen, but I thought everyone saw it like that. But once you look at it, and he did like videos where it looks like they're pulling just like a regular sized person out of a bodysuit, and you can't unsee it. I know that's totally off topic, but when you mentioned about Superman having too small of a head, that's kind of how I felt about it. But yeah, it is one of those really weird things, and you can't unsee it when you see it. So now on to Star Wars. I think Star Wars might be the lowest hit now, the lowest viewed segment of the show. I don't feel like there's a lot of Star Wars collectors per se right now, at least not watching me. But again, there are still a lot of people collecting them. So anyway, we have this character from the now canceled Acolyte, which was one of the most... Man, that show had a lot of promise. That show had a lot of promise. But this is the vintage series. I do think these figures actually look pretty good. You can get some pretty good articulation in it. But again, it's not something that that I'm into. The Jedi banana. You get a nice soft goods robe. Now, I don't understand why Star Wars is using so many soft goods now, but Marvel Legends still is not. That is something they should definitely be using. Hell, I mean, McFarlane is using soft goods, and you have Marvel Legends that's not. And in my personal opinion, Marvel Legends is, I mean, they are kicking ass right now. I was watching the 1027 event, and they had like one of the head guys for the Marvel brand, and when they were showing off the new figures, he was saying how, like, I think we're on par. Like, I think we have the best figures, like better than what G.I. Joe is doing, and I think this might be the best line of figures that they've done yet. So we kept making jokes about like how they are. They've seen what G.I. Joe is doing, Marvel Legends. Probably should wait to the Marvel Legends segment to talk about this. But they know it, and they're kicking ass. So here's the packaging for it. He looks kind of tiny, but I think it's just the angle. Then we have the Vintage Collection Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think this is a really good sculpt of Ewan McGregor. Contrary to everyone else, I actually really enjoyed the Obi-Wan, and Matthew, this is not the time for you to come in and say how much you can't stand it. But I actually enjoyed Obi-Wan, and maybe a lot of it has to do with just really, really liking Ewan McGregor. It's hard. It's almost impossible when you have an iconic character to have somebody take it over, and then you think that is the actual character. But in all honesty, the way that I see it is Ewan McGregor is Obi-Wan. Not Alec Guinness anymore. Like Sir Alec Guinness, like he modeled him so well, and I think of Obi-Wan as Ewan McGregor. Carol has joined us. Great to have you here, Carol, and thank you for your donation too. You kicked ass. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. But anyway, soft goods. Here he has the goggles. He has his lightsaber hilt on. So here he is just kind of strutting. Like, this guy was like, I mean, he gave up being a Jedi. This guy was strutting through Mos Eisley and every other place on Tatooine, just strutting around, banging probably every chick that he could. He probably a bunch of little Jedi running around because of him. There's no doubt about that. Here is the card art for it, and I think it looks good. I'm pretty impressed with that. And then we have this guy. I forget what his name is. He's one of Darth Maul's like brothers or whatever. He has a two-sided lightsaber. This is the 1027, I think the exclusive. I have a feeling this one will probably do well just because they really like this character. And Radnam has jumped in here. Great to see you here. And JLS Comics, what's up? Great to have Jesse here. I can say Jesse because I know him personally because he was on Thursday with a friend. And if you ever want to know about any G.I. Joe character, especially some of these obscure ones, head on over to JLS Comics and see if he's done a video on it. And if he hasn't, write a comment for maybe a character that you want to see him do. This guy, he knows so much of the lore, also with Marvel, but I think G.I. Joe is obviously the bread and butter here. Yeah. Go ahead and send him a message if you see a character that he hasn't done, and say, "Hey, I was wondering if you've thought about doing this guy." Just creating more work for JLS. Greg Archer, great to have you here. Anyway, pretty good looking figure. If you're into the Black series, which we know it's huge in the toy collector biz, it's still big, man. They would not want to keep this contract and keep doing stuff like this if it wasn't making them money. I know we see a lot of the stuff at Ollie's right now. I've seen it at Ross, but just so people realize the amount of Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black series that get made compared to Classified, or when they were doing Ghostbusters or Power Rangers, those three are a drop in the bucket compared to Legends and Black series. JLS Comics says, "Thanks, man. I'm always happy to take requests." And again, if you are one, and I know I gotta start doing it again. I started putting in my reviews for a short bit a link to his, so you could find out a little bit more about the character, because as I mentioned before, I'm here to review a figure, not the lore of the figure. But sometimes I talk about it, especially if I know it from the early comic days. But yeah, I gotta start to remember doing that. So maybe with these new figures, I'll do that. I also gotta brush up my own memory on it. So anyway, here he is, Savage Oppress. I wonder if the Savage Land is going to get this. I mean, it is savage. All right. SH Figuarts. I know you're going like, oh my God, I've really been waiting for an SH Figuarts figure. And here we have a Venom if you need, which I think probably fits pretty good into what they do. I mean, this guy, when you look at Venom, Spider-Man, Carnage, they get into some really abstract poses, especially with the symbiote suit. So I think this probably really fits with their aesthetic here. Jeff Morris has joined. I still buy both TVC and Black Series because I have problems. Welcome to the club. All right. If you've ever heard me talk about how much I hate Cobra Law, and to know that I was on the phone with Tony and I went, dude, I totally forgot. Oh man, hold on. He's trying to talk to me and I'm trying to order this. And he's like, you're not listening to me at all. I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, you don't even like it. I'm like, I have problems. All right. I have problems. Anyway, this Venom looks pretty damn badass and menacing. All right. I believe SH Figuarts, I've never had one. Like, never held one in hand, so I've never got to mess around with them. I do believe that they have a little bit of I think they have a lot of issues, not issues, but a lot of joint points that people don't like to see. But at least with this here, it blends really, really well. Tripwire, this should be 1/12 scale, so it should be the 6-inch figure. Hopefully a little bit bigger, because I think the SH Figuarts actually run a little bit small. 3-star says, but that Hasbro one that's at Target right now looks good too. I'm sure it's a repaint of a repaint. Yeah, you know what? And that's just it. The Marvel Legends stuff has gotten so good that unless you're really, really, really into a certain figure or a certain brand like G.I. Joe, like for Mezco, you can just stick with the Classified or Marvel Legends and not go the high route because they look good enough. By good enough, I mean usually pretty damn good. But yeah, this thing does look pretty damn badass. I had to throw something in there we didn't talk about over the weekend. But yeah, here he has all kinds of tentacles and stuff. So super awesome here. Again, I think you guys will all definitely enjoy it if you get it. I thought this was a really good one. Eddie Brock talking to him, yelling at him. All right, a little bit of NECA. I forget what these things are called, but these are all the little kids. Everyone loves these things. I think having a couple might be pretty cool. We have Nosferatu here. We all remember as a kid wearing these sweatsuits. That's what they were. All right. This is what those wrestlers go into saunas wearing. Matthew Matson says SHF Star Wars figures are awesome. My indie from them is amazing. So, see, I'm trying to think. Are they the ones with like the joints that people don't really like to see? I'm starting to think no, because Matthew likes them. There is one brand that really the joints stick out and people tend not to like it. And then people seem to absolutely love that brand. Jeff Moore says, I'm still waiting for Hammer Dracula from NECA. So, but these look pretty cool. I mean, if you're into this and you have like a whole trick-or-treat setup for Halloween, like it might be something pretty cool to do. Like have them going like house to house. Again, we all do displays and stuff like that. I mean, you look what Naughty or Nice is doing, Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff. There's so much Santa Claus and Krampus that you can easily do stuff. Here we have this clown. I don't know what this goes to. Right now I'm saying this picture is making me think of a stupid glass line thermoses that would break in your backpack and have hot chocolate leaking everywhere. I know it. Oh, thermistors. Okay, well, okay, I see what you're saying. Anyway, is that what is Captain Spaulding from? Oh, right here, House of a Thousand Corpses. I don't watch horror movies. Not my thing. I watched Robo Don't Know today. I watched Robo Don't Know today, and he was talking about that new horror movie. It's like the third one that just came out, and he was like, I didn't even know this was a thing, and I was like, neither did I. I seen it. I seen the weird looking clown, but I didn't realize it was a movie. It's a horror movie that just came out. Someone's going to know what it is. Anyway. Here we have Krampus, Merry Krampus with a deranged Terrifier. Yes, thank you guys very much. I have no idea. And Shark Eyes, thank you for joining us. Yeah, I have no idea. Dude, I've seen the picture of that clown. I didn't realize they were movies. Let alone, I think on the third movie is what he was saying. So, yeah, I didn't know what it was. So here we have Merry Krampus. Just that ball and chain might be pretty cool. But you have a deranged little gingerbread man there. Way different than what we got from Shrek. I feel like this little guy would be tormenting that one from Shrek. So, but this is just, yeah, I don't know. If you like it, you like it. Pick it up, have fun with it. Is that a Burger King costume? No. I don't want to watch Smile 1. I have no interest at all. I have no interest in this stuff at all. And then here we have, I feel like I've seen this guy before. Yeah. So if you want this, again, this is all the horror ones. When do we get a G.I. Joe one? That's what I want to know. When do we get that classic G.I. Joe one? Because that one was the one that I remember being like 2 or 3 years. When you cut your tongue because you constantly would stick your tongue out that little. Oh, it is V for Vendetta. I have not seen that movie since probably shortly after it came out, so I couldn't tell you anything about it. But yeah. And then we have now, this is a movie that I actually saw when my ex and I were together. I bought this movie just for something to watch for Halloween, and it was so stupid. I actually do. I couldn't tell you what it's about. I just remember thinking it was really, really stupid. But here you go. If you like these, I think they're pretty cool for what they are. And I think if you're making, like, if you do a Halloween display in your house where you have like kids going, trick or treating and stuff, yeah. Yeah, JLS says Trick or Treat is a modern classic. It might be, but it's not classic for me, other than it was really bad. But hey, if you like it, you like it. I'm not a horror guy. So, all right. And then we get this Gremlins pack, all right? The evolution of the Gremlin. And this is a very interesting that, Gizmo has two-face, so like a different faceplate. One actually makes it look like he's not Gizmo, although he's clearly supposed to be. And then we have Spike that become, showing him from his Mogwai form to his Gremlin form. And I don't want a Gremlin in my house. I'm just saying. Like, I don't pick these up because I really don't want something that creepy. A Mogwai, yes. I really should have bought the Christmas Gizmo when it was out. Hopefully it'll be back out around. It was around forever. But yeah. Kenzo's creation, who has jumped in, and he was on for a bit too. I know in the morning. I don't remember if you were on at night. A lot of it did become a blur after a while. This weekend. Thank you very much, Kenzo. And hey, if you didn't donate because you hate kids, that's on you, right? I just, you know what? There are certain things I don't want in my home, and a gremlin is one of them. Here's little Wicket with his eyes looking up. Did I say Wicket? Gizmo. I said Wicket. Gizmo. Before someone has a heart attack and flips out, they called it Wicket. Yes, Wicket is an Ewok from Star Wars. I don't know where other Ewoks are from, but. And then here's Spike before he becomes the Gremlin. I think we all like the Mohawk, but then it becomes. This thing is terrifying. I mean, to this day, the Gremlins I feel are just a terrifying looking creature. Probably because they look wet and there's but like when they jump in the water and they start boiling, like their backs boil and all their shit pops off. Oh god, so awful. That is a thing of nightmares right there. But yeah, I mean, just look at this guy. He just looks like just some evil fucking creature before he's even like evil. But if you want it, there you go. We got the chainsaw. Him on a skateboard. I have to remember this in the 80s. That's why the skateboard looks very 80s. And here's everything. You get the saw blade, skateboard, and chainsaw. So it's a big 3-pack. If you want it, if you need some more Gremlins, Mogwais, he got them for you. No, Patrick, no, these aren't Ewoks. They look very similar. Did anyone, maybe no one fed the Ewoks after midnight. All right, Marvel Legends. And we got the big Sentinel. I know this has been a sore spot for a lot of people. It is smaller than the HasLab one. It doesn't have the same articulation. And it is from a completely different line. This is from the cartoon. It's cheaper than it, and I know that's really bothering a lot of people. And I think that maybe this whole HasLab thing, I don't want to say it's dying. I don't think that it's dying at all, but I think that, as I talked about, is the HasLab model broken? I think maybe they're starting to see something where it's like, if we're going to do a HasLab, maybe we should do less, but offer these bigger items on a pre-order, so we know exactly how many need to be made. And then, even though they're not collecting the money, then they have an idea, so they don't have to overproduce them. And I really don't think that's a bad idea. I still think that maybe with the bigger price items, bigger stuff, that you're going to get a HasLab version out of it. So this is $175. It's up for pre-order, I think, to the middle of this month. The same as, was it Demon Man or whatever? I don't know. I ordered them. The big guy, there was like $85. They know people are going to cancel it, so they will have a few extra, and they'll probably make a few more. But for the most part, I think these are just a limited supply. And we actually saw this happen with Star Wars when they did that, Boba Fett's palace or whoever. When they did, what was it? Jabba's, like the throne room, right? And we kind of saw it coming, that they made this a pre-order, and that's how many were being made. And again, you can still cancel it, which is, pretty good. But, Ryan here did say that, I think that's Ryan, right? If it's not Ryan, then I apologize. But yeah, so they said, like, you have time to set your finances, especially knowing that Christmas is here. Toy Matrix says 150 would be reasonable. Well, they said 175. So if you want it, that's the reason. That is, thank you very much. What's the other guy's name? Ryan Ting, and I know Dwight. Ryan Ting, and someone tell me who the other one is. It's gonna drive me nuts. Stiff Kitten says Mogwai meat is nice, roasted, of course, not boiled. All right. So they do show you how tall it is here, 22 inches. It's 4 inches shorter. I believe it's 4 inches shorter than the HasLab one. So this guy here in the middle, he's the one that was basically saying, Dan, thank you very much. Thank you very much. He was the one that was kind of comparing, saying that, this is like the best Marvel Legends that we've seen, that he'll put him up against anyone. I really think that this guy here, when we get to the next set here, anyway, we should probably talk about this. This is me getting ahead of myself. Anyway, this is him. He did a mock-up of 3 of these, so he knew how big it fits. So if you want a couple of them, or 3, you know how much space it's going to take. But I do think it's pretty good. It's not a horrible deal. So we have the Red Hawk. This is from Captain America: Brave New World. I think the Hawk looks good. If you want a Red Hawk, there you go. Eventually, we have to see Red Hawk versus Hawk, right? Isn't that kind of what we should have been leading to? So, rumor has it that he's not even in it that much as Red Hawk. And it really sucks that we can't have the real guy, the original guy that played him, because he passed away. And whatever happened to his daughter? Did they ever explain what happened to Betsy Ross? Was it Betsy Ross? Like, what happened to her? She just left after the Edward Norton movie, and like she's never been talked about again. And I believe she's pretty prominent in the story of the Hawk, right? But anyway, pretty good looking back. Betty Ross. Betty, yeah. Okay, so she's back in the new one. Oh, okay, good, dude. That's good to know. So I'm glad that there's showing up a little bit of that. And Andrew Taylor says she's either in this movie or Thunderbolts. Thank you. Okay, well, all right, guys. I'll let you guys continue. She's back. I thought this picture was pretty cool. Of course, you can't do this unless you have a stand. So, because he's probably on his knees here. So all he does is come with a set of hands and and an extra head. I will reiterate again: $40. He's a big hunk of plastic. But something like this, give everyone a small trinket so you can world build. Doesn't matter what it is. 3-star says we just got a Red Hawk, but this is from Brave New World. So I can't think of the other one that we just got, but it doesn't matter. This is for the movie. So it does go up today. I don't know why I looked. This is one I didn't order. All right. So I believe that middle guy that I was talking about, I believe that these wings, along with those, they came out they're coming out fairly close. Or maybe they did these first. And they said, hey, they looked at these and they said, let's figure out. I think these are going to be very similar. The same with like the wings of Nemesis Immortal. So I really do think that this is something that, in case anyone is wondering, they can't use the exact same technology because from what I understand, the contract states that if it's used in Marvel Legends, if they ever lose the contract, it goes to them. It's now Disney property, Disney, so you don't want to develop something that you're using from G.I. Joe, or you don't want to take something from G.I. Joe and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, we gave it over to them. But I think that they did work together with these wings to do something very similar for the most part, because this is kind of stuff that Vulture, that Raptor can do. I thought this was an awesome picture. So here we have wings spread out, him flying. Looks like his shield connects to his back. There he has the backpack where everything collapses with the superhero pose. I like the idea of bringing Anthony Mackie or making Falcon Captain America. I think we all wanted to see the Winter Soldier be Captain America first. But there's something about Captain America is, Steve Rogers, and he has the super serum. All right. So in the new movie, there's the new Falcon. And before anyone says, wow, how is he Falcon? These are completely different wings for one thing. But this is not Anthony Mackie's character. It is actually a white guy. At least from what I can see through the mask. This will make an awesome G.I. Joe or Cobra. I'm just saying. So I actually did pre-order this. Now, whether or not I'll keep it or not, that's another story. I actually pre-ordered both of them. I just think these wings are really awesome. I actually liked... I wanted the Build-A-Figure to get the Anthony Mackie before. When he was I think the Captain America wings. Because it just looked really good. I thought these things looked awesome, but I didn't want to buy a whole wave of figures that I didn't want. So glad I waited on it. Yeah, I guess he does look more like Vulture, doesn't he? Now that I'm looking at him. Greg Archer says, I'm getting him for Joe. Yeah, it seems like he's going to fit perfect, right? I mean, he's got the color scheme. You can make some, some customizing modifications, but JLS Comics says, yeah, he looks like MCU Vulture a little. It makes you wonder if maybe they would do something like that. Just kind of make it a very similar character. I have a feeling that eventually this guy's going to be bad. Right? I mean, this guy's eventually going to turn on Captain America. But there you have Redbird, right? That's what it was called. But it's $40. Actually, all three of those figures are $40. So if it's something that you're into, that you want, I'd go grab them. They're available everywhere. Matter of fact, get it from Hella Dope Toys. Pre-order right now. Use my code APWT, and you'll get 10% off your entire order. And when it comes in, you know how fast they ship, right? One business day. One business day. Thank you, Moss Man. Thank you so much. And then here is this Norman. I totally screwed up. Osborn as the Iron Patriot, I believe, right? Maybe I'm completely wrong. But yeah, this looks good. Again, you can have only so. I mean, to me, so many. You can only have so many Iron Man suits. Eventually, it starts becoming just mundane. But I think it looks pretty good. And then we have this figure who is I don't know. There's a digital render. Not sure when it's coming out. I think someone tell me exactly who this is. I really wasn't paying attention. But yeah, the Superman head from earlier would look fantastic on this. Are you talking about on this thing right here? I wonder how those fit. Tony, you would know, right? Okay, yes, Miss Marvel from the Dark Avengers. Okay, Dark Avengers, Miss Marvel. Yeah. Well, if you want it, it'll be available eventually. I do not. I like toys. I like toys that look good. I can't use the Punk Don't Know. That is Robo's thing. But I think that him and I are really on the same type of wavelength where I'm looking at toys and what my headcanon is. I used to really read the X-Men when I was, the 90s. And I did a little bit of, I do my looking when they come out with a new movie and see how it's supposed to kind of play into place. Just how they kind of follow the storyline. But you're right, I'm not a Marvel guy. But I like toys. That's what that's for me. That's what I do. So, all right, Operation Monster Force with Fresh Monkey Fiction. And this was one of their anniversary ones. So, this, my friends, is just a repaint of one of the Delta Red figures, who I think are absolutely amazing figures so far. I haven't heard too many bad things. There was one person that said they had a few. They actually had some paint issues, but this is these figures are good. Now, as you can see, he does have the Van Helsing M4 with the spike. These are like an elite figure. So they have a completely different paint scheme, but it's all reuse. And it's an awesome looking figure. But you see this gold, all the packs and everything. And if you don't have one of these yet, what you guys are waiting for, they're all in stock. So it does come with the vampire head. I do have to say, Fresh Monkey Fiction, you really should have done a couple different vampire heads. I understand that you are, it's cost cutting, but how many of the exact same vampire heads can you have? These are you know, these are humans that are being changed into a vampire in a way, but it sucks that it's always the same. Now, maybe you can use one of the scrolls, or maybe you're one of those people. You can customize and make a scroll a different looking head, but they all have mohawks, which is like, how do they all have mohawks? So, but yeah, this thing is a really good looking figure, but it also comes with a Van Helsing head with some paint on it. It is the exact same head sculpt that is with Van Helsing, and that I can actually understand. But you also get the mask that goes over it. So, but it doesn't come with the one that flips up and down. It comes with this, the vampire head or Van Helsing. But sometimes they'll throw things in. That's what we're seeing. That there's a few head sculpts that were thrown in there, or helmets. I think just to make people happy. So, JLS says extra heads may be later wave accessory pack. Possibly. I think one of my biggest issues, and I've actually talked about this, is that you're gonna have a lot of excess head sculpts, and you're gonna have a lot of excess ports for the plate carriers, and that's kind of disappointing. Now you could use these head sculpts on a Valaverse figure, but you don't have any overlays. Actually, there is stuff coming. I take that back. There is stuff coming. So I guess if you get a Valaverse figure, you could, arm them up. I mean, I have these other packs coming, and shit, dude. I have these extra packs coming. And the problem is, to buy an extra army build, these you're talking $37, and I mean that is a steep price to pack. So. And Toy Matrix says you're totally right, Punk. Change it up a little, and I mean I understand this is the first wave of figures, but if you look down the line, they're just kind of redoing it, and I do worry as wonderful as these figures are, and they really are, as wonderful as they are, and they really are wonderful figures. That I don't want to see them go down the road of Valaverse where everyone is like, all right, dude, you and I was probably one of the biggest ones saying you have $3.50 and you do an overlay. Now, yes, I definitely expect Hasbro to have more, and they reuse their bucks too. So please, before people start thumbing out things, in a Facebook group saying, oh my God, Punk said this, I understand why they do it. I do. But after a while, it just becomes too much. And it's one of the biggest fears that I have with this, because I'm trying to go all in with Fresh Monkey Fiction, but they're taking the exact same figure and buck, and they're moving between like their lines, and they look nice, and so far what we're seeing is awesome, but I mean, we do have to give something different. The face sculpt would be huge, because these are supposed to be different people. So you turn into a vampire, I mean, is in the lore they all look the exact same? They all have a mohawk for some reason. That just doesn't seem to make too much sense. But here's everything that you get. You're going to get the blast effects. You probably get all the blast effects along with the smoke effect. You get the small pistol, the big pistol, the M4 with removable magazine. I feel like I'm the only one that has an issue. I got to contact them about that. That the magazine doesn't stay in there. You got the two different pieces for the plate carrier, different hands, knife. Again, there is so much good stuff in this. I have no issue with everything that they give you, but what would be nice is a $20 figure where you just get a blank plate carrier. I mean, literally a blank plate carrier with the thigh paddles, and be like, here you go. I don't even need a fucking head, but and trigger fingers, trigger hands, the paddles, a blank, and then a blank one. And the reason why I say that is there's the piece that goes in the front. Well, there's two different versions, and you can't use them both at the same time. all the other ones that I can plug in are different, so I can interchange them, but I can only have one of those on there. So, but yeah. Yorktown Joe says, looking forward to next year's release of the Generals and that not quite but really close Carl Weathers portrait. Lots of evil jugglers, custom potential. You are absolutely correct. I know Matthew is all on board. That is such an expensive way to get the jugglers, to get all 4 of them. But it's smart. I mean, it is really smart on their end. And you can't blame them. G.I. Joe's not going to do it, or Hasbro's not going to do it. So anyway, there it is. That's the Monster Force. G.I. Joe. A little bit of G.I. Joe came out this week. In short, we talked about it. We discussed the G.I. Joe that's coming out over the Stream-A-Thon, which if you missed it, I was live for 36 plus hours, minus a little bit of a break because I'm almost 49 and, well, I can't do that shit anymore. Woody says, those blast effects look kind of weird in my opinion. I don't think so at all. I actually think they look pretty good. It would be nice if they had like a painted bullet on it, like Mezco does. Mezco does that little painted bullet. I think that these are comparable to Valaverse ones. For basic ones, I think the Valaverse are by far the best. They just have this big explosion. You don't need to see the bullet because it'd be moving so fast. But with this here, the way this one is done, I feel like you need to see a bullet because this almost looks like it's in slow motion, like we kind of see, but it has a nice bloom, a nice plume, not bloom, the plume that kind of comes out. But I actually think these look really good. The one thing I have to say is the big one you cannot use on that rifle because the spike gets in the way. So you have to use one of the 2 small ones. And this is only showing one small one. So, all right. So on to G.I. Joe. Man, I spent a lot of time in this chair. I lean forward all way too much. Yorktown Joe says, just going to buy one and keep changing it up for dial story shots. You end up doing that, but it's so hard because I like having stuff in a display, and I'm not sure if you're the same way. I like having stuff in the display, and you're just like, it sucks when they all look good. I know going on to G.I. Joe, Kamakura is showing up at Ross. I want one of those just because I've never used the Kamakura, the Kamakura head. And like the face sculpt. And it's a really good face sculpt, but I've never used it because the other one, like that's how I see him. So 3-star says next week Punk is gonna have one of those $2,600 office chairs. Where would I get the money for that? All right. So we'll start off with Nemesis Immortal. And if you're gonna tell me, say it right. It's Nemesis Immortal. I mean, I don't care what you say. You want to call it Nemesis Enforcer, call it Nemesis Enforcer, call it Nemesis. I don't really give 2 shits. I really don't care. Greg, dude, I'm with you, man. I'm going to Ross pretty much looking just for that Thunder Machine. And yeah, I find yes, the Akikos and or Kira, I think it's Akira, whatever it is. No, Akira is what I find. Akira, not G.I. Joes. I haven't found I found those really cheap G.I. Joes. The soap bottles. Anyway, so understand this. They've pretty much confirmed it on 1027 that the Classified and the Energon universe are pulling from one another. All right? So just be prepared that this is how Nemesis Immortal looks in the comic. How he becomes giant, I don't know. I have not read this, but don't be surprised if you start to see these classified designs start looking more like whatever's going to be in the Energon universe. And I'm perfectly fine with it. If they are able to branch off and you have your classified retro, which is often your real American hero, that would be awesome. It would definitely help things out. And it would be something to push the product over, right? To keep it going. And I hope that's what they do. But anyway, so here is what it looked like, what they showed off. The little, whatever that thing is, it has tentacles. They're all on bendy wires, so you can do all kinds of things. It plugs into the back. This guy is the same size as Road Pig. If you haven't seen it, go to Dan Larson on Instagram. He has them in hand, so he showed them both off at the same time or next to each other. They're not using the same buck. It looks like they're built off the same size. There may be one or two things that are the same, but this is a completely unique figure. So I don't know how they're going to redo it. I can't see this being put out on a retro card. If it is, it's going to be one giant retro card. Anyway. So here are the production shots. There is this figure in the back that no one can seem to figure out who it is. A lot of people think that maybe it's one of the Royal Guards. Some people think that it's Budo, right? But yeah, I think everyone knows my feelings on Cobra. La 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 la. I think it is awful, but man, Lenny, you kicked ass with this. He's done this with so many figures, just like Raptor. Frostbite, how are you doing? Thank you. Again, I talked about it earlier. Everyone that helped with this weekend, and you are one of them. And like I said, I will be sending out links for Thursday with a friend. It'll be Thursday with friends. For everyone that was part of it, they can all jump on and tell their experience if they are available. Yorktown Joe says, no Thunder Machine though. Looking for one with a banged up box. I wouldn't mind opening. Give it time, man. Like, they don't want this line to be. I mean, everyone wants. I feel like everyone wants everything like 1 year, but give it time, man. Give it time. They're going to be giving us a lot of stuff. Well, I don't think the Dreadnoks was hard, but I'm with you. He's going to make everyone love Cobra. Like, once a man, Cobra Commander is awesome. This thing looks amazing. So, JLS says Cobra is set up in an interesting way in the Energon universe. That's what it sounds like, and people seem to really like it. What they've done so far. So, I will. I don't know. I'm scared to go into the comic book store, start buying stuff because I know what happens. But anyway, you can kind of see how the articulation is on these wings. They look awesome. Again, you can kind of see this guy in the background. Looks like he has some sort of sword, but these wings, he only comes with 2 swords. He is a 45. I believe he's sold out. I was watching the Full Force, and Chris McLeod was saying that he is sold out. People seem to have a hard time understanding that this was an in-stock item and that it is now sold out. I felt like Chris McLeod's head was going to explode trying to explain to people it was in stock. It is sold out. But watch, because they'll probably have it on. Be patient like Motu fans. I will say that this is a figure that I think a lot of people wanted, so they can use it with Mythic Legions for their Masterverse stuff, obviously for their G.I. Joe. Monster Force. I mean, dude, tell me that I will have some pictures with Monster Force, or Operation Monster Force fighting this guy. But all in all, he looks good. I know people don't like the wings because it doesn't look like the cartoon. Oh my God, you people drive me fucking nuts. I swear to God, Here is Sergeant Slaughter doing a belly-to-belly suplex that was made famous most notably by there was a guy. He used to have a wife and a son, but they're no longer with us either. Yeah, and he used to do like a whole bunch of belly-to-belly suplexes. But anyway. Yep. So yeah. Okay. So he is sold out. I didn't go back and check because I got him. So I was happy. I was happy. He's charged. I know he's on his way eventually. Kenzo says orange stock on my Pulse app. All right, that's where I look. So go to your Pulse app. Maybe it works. But again, I think this picture looks really awesome. It's hard to see where Sarge is, but I think it's pretty cool what he's doing. He should be bigger than Sarge. But yeah. So here it is with the piece on the back. And the back thing is its actual, its own creature. If you haven't seen the 1027, if you're a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, go watch it. Lenny really breaks this down on what it is. They're almost like turtle shells on his, like they're living organisms. Tech 49, who I don't believe that I've seen here before, says he got two. I'm not Geek Dead Life. I don't have that drop. He got two. Which is seriously from one of the most underrated Christmas movies of all time. I use the app all the time, 3-star. That's where I got it, Darren. So this thing, again, doing all bendy wire really, really, really adds something to it. But yeah, so I'm excited for this figure. As much as I don't like Cobra Law, and I really don't like Cobra Law. Yeah. I love when I say that I think someone hasn't been here and Matthew will send stuff to me. But not that much, see? Still new, Matthew. I can't remember everyone that's here, but I try. Anyway, I thought this picture was awesome. Not because Nemesis Immortal is actually holding Cobra Commander. They did such a good job of making Cobra Commander look like he's limp. The way his head is tilted down, the way that his legs are kind of like bowing out. I thought this picture was just like, this was like dead on. Like, this is how a picture should look. I don't know how anyone can complain about it. I'm sure there are certain groups out there that would completely dissect this and say how wrong it is. And that guy could go, yeah, my pictures I use for Hasbro, so fuck you. But yeah. I think this thing is actually pretty good. Tech9 says, not a fan of Cobra Law, but I always like Nemesis Enforcer. I do not like them at all. But this thing looks good. Lenny has found a way to make figures I absolutely hated as a kid. Raptor is a prime example. Look awesome. So, again, kudos to him for doing that. Anti-kudos to him for making me want Cobra Law stuff. Yorktown Joe KO'd, yes. So here's the back of it. You can see Cobra Commander in the clamshell there. You kind of see what he has. I don't think I really like this head sculpt just in general. And I know a lot of people I don't think like it because it's not what you saw in the cartoon. I just don't really like the way it looks, although it does look like it's this interesting, head. Like this interesting head with it. So, but here's how the box looks. And we saw this before. Now, I didn't get a picture of the wings. So the wings do come off and they're like their own creature. Lenny kind of named it and what he wants to call it. does have the fist. It has the two swords, open hands. So, and here we can see these things just. And I think that's awesome because it really does give you such better looks. Tech 49 says, I agree. I like the classic head sculpt. Yeah, this one, I mean, maybe when I see it in person, and I have seen a lot of these things that look better in person, or maybe if I knew what the story was of what it is, like why it looks like it does. But I just think the classic one actually does look pretty good. Woody222 says, is this going to be the same size as Mutton Junker? Same size box as Mutton Junker? I believe it is. That's why it's kind of crammed in there. Or, well, no, it should be the same. It should be the same size as Road Pig. I don't know why I got so quiet. It should be the same size as Road Pig because I said Dan Larson put them side by side, and he's just a little bit taller. It looks like, but this is, I mean, a unique sculpt. I don't know how you. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you can use, Royal Guards for him, but he's supposed to be this amazing creature that Globulus created, I believe, right? So, not Rachel says those wings are tentacles. Being their own creatures is some freaking nightmare fuel. Exactly. And oops.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Kenzo's creation with a $4.99 super chat for the new computer chair fund. I didn't expect to have any super chats today after this weekend. I definitely saw them kind of dwindle down leading into the Streamathon, and that is perfectly fine because I wanted people to donate. Kenzo, thank you very much. You were very gracious. I hit it like I was removing it. You were very gracious over the weekend, and you're still gracious now. So thank you very much. It really means a lot to me. All right. So here's everything that you get. I don't mind the wings. And again, before someone says, how can he actually fly? Well, he's a stupid creature. So that makes no sense. Yeah, I agree. I think he'll come back in stock. Yeah, I really do think that he'll probably be back in stock. I don't think there's going to be a huge, run on these to be honest. I think they'll probably keep them lower, like Mindbender and Serpentor and all of those. But I think, yeah, we'll get a little bit. So Lenny talked about how this thing has its own butterfly joint, so you can really move this around. I think it's absolutely crazy. I'm looking at this here. I have some of the Four Horsemen wings, which I think are at least the Four Horsemen wings that I have are total garbage. They don't want to stay on. They just kind of flap down. I have all the NECA gargoyles. They look good, but once the ratcheting starts failing, they don't really want to stay up. And they don't move all that well. Those are $38 figures. This is a $45 figure. So the fact that it's just a little bit more expensive shows that you can do some really good wings. And just going back to, what Raptor has and then looking at what Marvel Legends is about to do with, theirs, I think are amazing. Yes, Tech. Dan Larson has a picture of Goliath's wings behind him. He's laid down and he's kind of showing you, and the purple really matches pretty well. And if you're a good customizer, you can probably find a way, but I really don't know how you do it. You know what I mean? I don't know how you do it. These wings, that piece comes off. So, I can't believe that these things would be held on by one peg. But maybe I'm wrong because Raptors are. But it seems kind of crazy considering they took Metalhead and they made a specific system to clamp into his back so it would stay on. So Derek Holliman says, I wonder if the no Venom 3-pack wings will fit on him. I don't know how they go on. If it's just a port, I mean, if it's just a center port, then I don't see why it would be a problem. If there's a system where they have like maybe 2 joints, that might cause a problem. But I don't know if they have like 2 other joints on it, the 2 other pegs to hold it on. I'm with you. Like Raptor needed maybe a little bit more. It actually holds on pretty well, but if you want to hang him from the ceiling, good luck. That thing's going to come off. Where Metalhead, that thing ain't ever coming off, man. So I don't understand why, like, hey, we did this. Why wouldn't you do that with Raptor and probably this too? All right, so we did take a look at the Trench Viper. We got to see a little bit better of it. They're not giving file cards in this. They're just kind of showing them off in the file card form. I think you can go to the G.I. Joe Instagram page and maybe find this. Like, I don't know why. But they showed this off a little bit more. Chris McLeod says he thinks it's a $55 price point. I said 75. Chris McLeod said 55. Chris McLeod gets way more information than I do. Not that it's hard because I don't get any information. So I have a feeling this is going to be $55 price point. I think that this Trench Viper looks awesome. I'm not sure how much of it is new. We know the legs are different. I'm not sure if the arms are different yet, but I will definitely be interested once it goes up. This is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. So be on the lookout. I don't think this is going up tomorrow. Does anyone know if this is going up tomorrow? Shark Guy says 2-letter and 1-word QR code. That's where these damn file cards should be located. Should and are 2 different things. Well, I'll tell you what, Totsi, if it's a... This is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. If you wait, you will miss out on it. End of story. And you know what? Everyone will bitch. I'm not yelling at you. I'm already ready for it. Matthew said, I said 55 before Chris did on the live Streamathon. Yes, you did. But Chris also knows. Well, heavy duty is going up tomorrow. But this is a Pulse exclusive. Heavy duty is not. So that will go up tomorrow, but I'm not surprised that this would go. Yes, tomorrow, same time as today. Well, yeah. But I don't know if this is going up too. Pulse exclusive. You know, you remember when Emily said, hey, we'll give you guys, you know, a heads up, and then there's no fucking heads up? Yeah. I was thinking that this was looking at a price point of an HMS. So, either way, if you want this, do not wait on it. And if you do wait on it and you miss out on it, don't go to the G.I. Joe forums and whine and cry about it, because you fucking have been warned. I don't understand that. They don't take any money out. Like, they don't take your money. So why do you wait? I just don't get it. Just buy the fucking goddamn thing or pre-order it, and then if later down the road you decide, I don't want it, then cancel it. It's actually really simple. Somebody's got to start printing more of these sandbags. Dude, I'm with you 100%. They need lots of sandbags. Derek Holliman says we need small playsets for classified like we got back in the day. I am with you 100%. There was something that we were discussing I don't remember if it was on. I don't know if it was on the Streamathon or not, but oh yeah, it was when Frostbite and I were doing the whole looking at the artwork, and you kind of forget like how great those little play sets were because you could take them outside, you could go do things with them. You know, they were just very entertaining, and this works way easier than a headquarters. Look at this action face. I'm here, but my eyes are shot. So you're on mod duty solo, Matthew. I said at the beginning, I really didn't think that you were going to be here, Ed. You flew out to be with your daughter, and you're supposed to be driving back. And hey, family is more important than a stupid toy tube show. I'm just kidding. This thing is way more important. All right. I may eventually pay you something. Kids will never fucking pay you, but they will constantly take from you. Anyway, here's the back of it. Unfortunately, Punk with Toys logo is in the way. So there is a weapons rack. It is the same weapons rack that came with that's in the his tank. Now I am under the assumption that it is part of it, because I can't imagine they expect people to take this weapons rack out of their his tank. But I also don't understand why they give you 2 ladders. Now there was other pictures that I guess I did not put on here, like everything that it comes with. Well, we talked about it before, but it looks like there's a couple things on it that, like, it looks like there's 2 legs with it, and I'm wondering if we're just wrong and there's actually 4 legs to make it so you can raise it off the ground. But this thing is going to be very modular, as they're kind of showing you right here. Action face, it's negative pay when it comes to kids. It's worse than pay than what you get here. And from Radnam and Hella Dope. You're absolutely correct. At least you know I'm not going to ask you for money, all right? Other than the Stream-A-Thon, when I expect everyone to donate at least 99 cents, unless you hate kids. You're right, it's a box. It's a bunker. I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it's something that they're making and something people are going to use. Those aren't legs. They're for they're for the weapons, 50 cal. I don't think so. I mean, I could be completely wrong, and I don't have them on here. So, all right. So here's Heavy Duty, a figure I absolutely 100% hate. I do not like the character. Am I going to buy it? Yes, because I have problems. I have every single classified figure. I love the fact that these missile launchers on the side here come off, and finally we can be like Dutch from Commando and fire them off. I think we all know that. We love that. He has 2 miniguns. I hope this guy has ear protection because he's not hearing much after this. And the 2 laser guns. And again, I hate this figure. Now, I'm sure when I get it, I'll say it's a decent figure, just like Metalhead. I never needed a Metalhead. I think they made them pretty decently. But, yeah, I don't get it why people like this, but they do. Yorktown Joe says, if they sell for 40, they won't be $44.99. I can tell you that much. They'll be 50. They'll probably be 55. If they sell for 45, they will sell a ton. If it sells for 75, not as many. Yeah. Then again, it's all about what Hasbro feels they can get for it. That's the biggest thing. Again, what I think that it should sell for, and why, doesn't mean that Hasbro would do it. They're greedy bastards. You know, a 3-pack of Vipers should be no more than $75. They make it fucking 90. In actuality, it should be under 75 because you buy shit in bulk because it's cheaper. 2 packs are $55. Each figure is $25. That means the 2-pack should be $45, but Hasbro said, hey, you know what? They'll buy it. And I did. Rant over. So anyway, Heavy Duty, he goes up tomorrow. He's going to be the $35 price point because that's how they do things. There's a $55, or I'm sorry, there's a $45, there's a $35, and then there's a $25. He is the $35 price point. All right, so we got digital renders of Blowtorch. Now, I was extremely surprised to hear so many people say they like this figure. I thought for sure with the gray circles, the tears of Joe fans were going to start. Now, you look at this guy. I think the figure looks good. It looks like he has a clear mask so you can see the eyes. I don't think the colors work. I just think there's, and again, we're looking at the digital render, so when it comes out, I may just be like, oh, I was wrong. But we're looking at the digital renders here. I just think the really dark red doesn't match well with the yellow. And then you put the gray in it, which mutes it even more, and then the black knee pads. To me, this figure is all over the place. The figure is fine. It is already set up for a retro card. Just know that. The accessories that it comes with, well, I think we knew when we saw Torch we were going to get these flame effects. These flame effects are stiff. You don't have to worry about them. They have a nice thick port. Thank God they gave him a better fucking gun than Torch's. His Blowtorch, because that was awful. Greg says they always mute and mess up the colors. Not always. I mean, they're not going to, again, I don't want an exact replica of the O-ring. I mean, I like the fact that I get some. I like seeing some modification. I like seeing some updates. But I just think that this is, I don't like these muted colors. And I don't like the way they work together. I know the original one was red and yellow, but you didn't have the gray. And I don't have a problem that they decided to change the color. I just don't think it looks good. And I might be in the minority because I thought people were going to cry about it. Now, I'm not crying about it because it doesn't look like the original. I don't think the colors look well together. Andrew Taylor says he's dressed in bright red and yellow, has 2 tanks of napalm strapped to his back. I'm thinking G.I. Joe Command really hates this dude, like slept with the general's daughter type hate. No. Remember, Andrew, remember Cobra Island? They're in the island, and they gave them, hey, you know what? Here's barbecue. Barbecue was definitely meant there to take the bullets, so everyone else could sneak in and kill him. Barbecue was not coming back from Cobra Island. They didn't even give that fucker a gun. At least they gave him a gun. But yeah. So again, I think the figure looks good. I just like mold wise. I don't like the colors. But again, this is digital render. May look completely different. And he's already set for a retro card. So just be prepared. Looks like he's using the same tank as Torch, along with obviously the special effects. The flame effects. New gun. And then we get the Frag Viper. Now, I didn't have a Frag Viper. I know nothing about the Frag Viper per se. I kind of remember this figure because when I'm going through my books and stuff or picking up Joe's, this is kind of like a figure that he stands out because I don't think he looks all that bad. I like this figure. I like the colors. And I have no attachment to the original Frag Viper, so I can't say if, it's a figure that if I'm mad because he looks so much different. And Herman has jumped in here. This is McDonald's employee PPE to cut up onions. I like this figure. I like the fact that he doesn't have a vest, any type of plate carrier, which means he's going to have better articulation. His backpack, you can see all the little discs. Now, I think what people are expecting round grenades. These are supposed to be little discs. They're type of disc grenades. So this is a little throw effect here. You can see the peg on it, so they can kind of like just plug it right in here. And what you have is a chute of a sleeve or whatever you want to call it that's going to plug into the his little dog thing, so he could throw it. You know I saw Liquid Identity, and I meant to say his name, and I did not. I don't believe. Frag just looks out of place in a Cobra lineup. With some of Range's MGL. Well, there's a lot of Cobras that look out of place. I think the helmet looks good. He does come with Shockwave's machine pistols or whatever they're called. I hope these are better than Shockwaves, because Shockwaves are so soft that they literally have wrapped around his leg. Like the grip and the magazine just wrap around his leg if you have him in a box for, I don't know, a day or two. Not Rachel says Frag Viper looks good. I agree. I really like this one, but I have no attachment to him. But I just think this is a really good. And imagine putting this guy behind the Alley Viper, so he's throwing the grenade like over the Alley Viper, who has his shield up. Again, I think I like this. And if you don't like it, then hey, you know what? You don't have to buy it. It's crazy how that works. So, all right. Name only reveals is we are getting a retro Flint. Chris McLeod talked about this, and he said that this will be a completely new mold, a complete new buck. Well, a new buck from what Flint was, new head sculpt and everything. I thought when I was thinking like, hey, you know what, it's going to be the same. But then it started dawning on me. Duke is new. Scarlet is new. Beachhead is completely new. Well, almost completely new. Same head sculpt. The Alley Viper, or not the Alley Viper. The Viper is a completely new a new sculpt for him. All right. Before someone starts going, oh no, he has Duke's. He's a new sculpt for this. And Chris McLeod, again, he has more information than I do, so this is going to be a completely new sculpt, head sculpt, and everything. I have no issues with the original Flint. I don't know why people do. People hate that head sculpt. I don't get it. Now, if you say, hey, it's not how I want my Flint to look, understandable. Like, find another head sculpt and use that. But it's a damn good head sculpt. But it does look like a lot of these retros. I mean, Gung Ho had a different head sculpt, same body and everything. So there are a lot of these that they really did make him more OG, right? They are doing it. I just hope the weapons, and we know we're not going to get the weapons. It's my biggest gripe. So, but yeah, if you are interested in Falcon and Flint, and Flint is number 26. I think it was Stanley Everhart that said, yeah, he's 26. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, it's hard to believe that he was out for that long because he peg warmed for quite some time. But anyway, we're getting a retro carded version so people can be happy. The Tele-Viper. The Happy Matthew, the Tele-Viper. Jamie Garcia says, original classified Gung Ho looked like John C. Reilly on steroids. No, he looked like Chuck Liddell. looks like Chuck Liddell. All right. All right. So the Tele-Viper. I told everyone you're going to get a Tele-Viper, right? Like, and again, this is not me like knowing something. Just, dude, this line is doing well. This is an army builder. They're going to give you a Tele-Viper. What can they make different? Well, you'll see what they already did with the Viper. They gave him the short sleeve because people want the short sleeves. I believe with this, you're going to get the short sleeves with the Tele-Viper. His backpack and everything, gun is already nailed. Probably the same head sculpt. This will probably just be a regular white figure. And if this Tele-Viper is white, well, that one Jeremy dude from the G.I. Joe community that was so pissed off that they gave you the option to have a black version. Well, now he can finally have the fucking Tele-Viper that he really wanted after proving what a racist he was. And there are people right now that are going, oh my God, I totally forgot about Jeremy. There are other people going, who the fuck is Jeremy? No one that's in this, but he was in the G.I. Joe classified community. He had a huge issue that they even gave the option to have a black Tele-Viper with the trouble bubble. He was not happy. But I think what you're going to get here is probably the short sleeves, because these are pictures that they showed off. All right. Pretzel John hasn't said a goddamn word all night, and he comes in like, I remember that dickhead. No, not Jeremy Kimberlin. Not Jeremy Kimberlin. So please, Jeremy Kimberlin is one of my mods on the Facebook group page. If you're on Facebook, you do know that we have a Facebook group page, right? Punks with Toys. Like, please go over there and join it, and actually answer the questions, or Tony will say, fuck you, I'm not letting you in. Yeah, so I think that's what we're gonna get, and I'd have to look at the Viper. I have to look at how the Viper sleeves look, but they might just use those. So, but I think that's what they're gonna get, because they're showing this one off, right? And you're doing the retro card, you might as well, again, you can always go back and have a tan version or a black version of him later on. Again, he's a Tele-Viper. They're going to make more. So, and there you guys go. All you guys that whine and cry that there wasn't a blonde cover girl. Oh, why isn't she blonde? Blah, 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 blah. Oh my fucking God. Like, I know, here I am complaining about people that complain, and people say, hey, you know better. But I am better because I don't fucking complain about fucking shit I don't give a shit about. You're going to get the blonde cover girl. Just looking at cover girl already, it doesn't look like there's going to be too much. It doesn't look like the figure is going to be too different. Hopefully the arm is better, because my fucking arm pops off every time I try and move it. I absolutely hate it. Tony says, I ain't letting no fuckers in if you don't answer the questions. Come on. The questions are literally, I think, what's your favorite company? What line do you like? And where are you from? Something like that. They're really easy questions. Matthew says, I don't let anyone in who doesn't answer the questions. I used to go ahead and I would go and look where they're, like, who they are, and maybe if they have people in common. But when they start flowing in, I don't want to do that anymore. And I've kind of been doing the same thing that you guys have. We have over 500 people. So again, Facebook group page, Punks with Toys. I should promote it more. I used to, and then I stopped. So I really need to get that again. Jarhead says, like my cover girl. I like cover girl too. I know people didn't like her face. I had a feel like when I first heard they were doing this, I didn't see this. I'm like, I bet it's going to be blonde. But if I remember correctly, they said she is actually from the Mass Device. So this version of CoverGirl was from the Mass Device, which fits into what they're kind of doing, even though that this is, the retro carded version. So you'll be getting the blonde CoverGirl, and I'll say it again, like they need to just fucking tell. They just need to tell Super 7, hey, just stop making ultimates. All right, it's a losing cause for you guys. What's this thing? Tony's sneaky Mexicans. Clint Jorgensen says, hopefully her hair is the same blonde as Heather Locklear's from Melrose Place. Johnny Reno says, I don't have to answer any questions when I was invited to my... Yeah, I think if I invite you, you don't have to answer any questions. But if you find it, again, like it just weeds out the people that are just like, I'll go and look at like what you have in common, because it will tell you like groups you have in common, and you look at the groups and you realize these are just people that add themselves to groups. I don't know, like they're group whores. You want to see how many groups they can get into. But I know a lot of people don't like that CoverGirl. Well, now you're going to get a blonde version. Probably be smart if they threw in like a redheaded version. So you could swap it out if you don't like that. I just think that, this CoverGirl has a very chiseled chin and everything, which is very common with models. She is supposed to be a model. I do think that the original digital render, she looked better, but so did Falcon. You remember they came out together. Falcon had a much different, and I was told the whole process of what happened with that from Lenny. So they tried to rectify it, and I think they did a pretty good job. But again, if you have an extra grunt, just pop Grunt's head on it. Got to throw a little bit of sticky tack on it. Once you throw his beret on it, it doesn't even look like Grunt anymore, and you should be happy. But yeah, these, I don't think she's going to be a new figure, because again, if you look at CoverGirl, if you have it, a lot of people don't have CoverGirl. A lot of the people actually don't have CoverGirl. There's a lot of these figures like in the, what is it, like the 70 to 80 range. They kind of came and people somewhat ignored them. That, from what I understand, have kind of gone up in price. Chris McLeod has said, Shadow Tracker is done. So like if you didn't get Shadow Tracker, you're going to have to buy them on the aftermarket. Like there's not another one coming. At least not that numbered. That's going to be the one thing that's going to be with Classified forever, is that it doesn't matter if they do new figures. Once you have people that they want to be completist, they're going to pick it up. And that's why, when people think, oh, the new one's coming out, like Dr. Mindbender. Oh, great. There goes my value of Dr. Mindbender. No, Dr. Mindbender is a exclusive in a box, right? It's an exclusive in a box where people are going to want that one down the road. So don't think like the new retro one's going to ruin it. Yeah, she started showing up at Ross for $6. We just started getting Ross's, so I never found her. If I find her, I'm going to buy it, because I can't move mine without her arm falling off. It wasn't on in the box, and it stays on, but I have to set her up first and then plug her arm on and slowly move her to get her into whatever pose. And not my biggest. Well, she's actually right here. Get her right here. So anytime I move this arm right here, it just comes right off. And it just plugs right back on. I mean, it plugs right back on and it stays on. And I can move it side to side, but if I try and like move this, it fucking sucks. And I know people had the same issue with Zorana. I didn't have the same issue with Zorana. I don't have an issue with, this arm. But that's how it was out of the box. People tried calling me out saying that I broke it on purpose. Yeah, because that's what I want to do, like break figures on purpose. And do you see Savage Crucible, how I set it down? I did not throw her, even though it was a toss. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but I was accused of throwing the figures by Savage Crucible, who watched my review, because I was mad. Inside joke for guys at Joe Fest. Joe Fest. So anyway, that's about it. I don't have anything else. I don't have any topic. We'll be going over everything for this week. For this Thursday, we will be having people on that were part of the Stream-A-Thon if they want to join. Also, remember, it is Halloween, so I know not everyone will be available. You'll be able to watch it on the replay. I don't expect to have a high turnout, but I expect to have some people watching because I realize some of you hate kids. As a matter of fact, if I go and look here, it says 3% of people did not know that I did a stream for a whole fucking weekend. I like, seriously. I don't, if that's like serious, if you really didn't know that I was doing a 36-hour stream, can I ask how? Like, how is that even possible? Ronnie Trick Shot says double entendres on Thursday. I don't think so. And yeah, Richard says my cover girl's arm falls off with little effort. Yeah, again, like it just sucked. I never look at acronyms until you guys started saying it, and I absolutely hate the acronym. I hate it. It just sounds very dirty. It'll be at 9:00. So I'll probably shoot out. I'll shoot out the link. Probably 8:00. So that's 9:00. It's the same time as always. I'm not passing out candy. I hate kids. I just spend time here donating, raising money for them. Yeah, 20 must be nice. Must be nice to have Storm Shadow. Yeah, so 9:00, same time as normal. I have guys on. They can. I don't want guys on that are going to praise me and what a wonderful job that I did. How that if they were to do it, they couldn't imagine doing it any better. That they felt it was probably perfect. And that probably if I made a toy line, it would probably be the best thing by far. Like nothing. The most original, only original product out there. That's the type of people I like to keep around that only tell me how great I am. Because I don't think I should have to, change anything. Seems like a lot of QC issues right now with the latest Valiverse wave. I'm not collecting it, but I've seen a few things with Colonel Siege, with the blue. I know Bobby B had it. Probably one of his biggest nightmares that shit Bobby B got one. But supposedly, if you are into Valiverse and you're having any QC issues, please contact them because supposedly they are making the running changes for them. Something with with Apollo. Who's the big guy? Not really a big guy, to be honest. So that bigger figure, there's a different waist, so it matches the texture. And then if you do have one of the Colonel Sieges with a different color underneath the vest, the butterfly joints are supposed to be painted, supposedly. I'm not sure if I believe that or if he just realized it after they were sent out and is having the factory fix it and send new ones. But if you reach out to him, you can get that rectified. So, but yeah. And Pop Blender has jumped in here. Damn, my Nemesis has left the building. That's the quickest purchase to ship I've ever had. I wonder if mine has. Probably not. Hasbro hates me. Let's see here. Your shipment is on the way. That's from Big Bad Toy Store. So, nope. Not from me. Actually, the last time I took more than a couple days. It was way behind and it hurt my feelings because I thought Hasbro doesn't like me anymore. But sometimes I wake up and there's one. I won't go out till tomorrow anyway. Pop Blender, how you doing? Anyway, I'm actually going to cut it early today because I still got a lot of stuff I got to do in the morning. So I'm going to try and get stuff. Jeff jumping in here with Atlas. That's his name. What I say. I don't know. But and I didn't understand the difference because the picture that I saw had no paint to it. And I'm like, that looks worse. But it looks like that will be painted. It's the texture. Yeah, and again, then you have the, I guess, the issue. So I don't know. Like, again, Bobby B, go check out his reviews. I'm sorry. Go check out his videos. He doesn't call them reviews. It looks to me like, I mean, from what Bobby told me is that they're very, Bobby B's Battlegrounds. He told me that the new figures are really, he finds them very bland, and he said they're extremely stiff now, kind of like going back to the first series of them. I don't know. I'm not collecting the stuff anymore. I'm not reviewing it. I'm not going over it anymore. But I just thought, like, with all of them coming out right now, just be aware that if you do have an issue with Colonel Siege and you notice that the butterfly joints are a different color, so it doesn't match the vest, reach out to him because supposedly he is, not supposedly, well, I guess supposedly because I don't know for sure, but he is replacing all of that. I don't really know how you're going to handle that. If you ordered it through, let's say, Helidope Toys, Big Bad Toy Store, Nerdzork, I don't know who else carries them. I know those three companies are working with them. So, all right. Tripwire says, my Immortal has not shipped yet either. It's bullcrap. Makes me mad. Don't they know who I am? Don't they know that I'm a reviewer and that I should get it before everyone else? Yeah. I usually put that in there. Do you know who I am? When I order something? Do you know who I am? Ship that bitch out. I am shocked, though. Like I said, it seems like maybe it's just us. Maybe it's just us being, most of the people here being big G.I. Joe fans. That I feel like the stuff that is in stock is always someone else. It's always Marvel Legends, Star Wars. And then we're like, I mean, I know Once a Man Cobra Commander was in stock, then it wasn't in stock, then it was in stock. I know I got mine right away, so I'm assuming I should have this before the end of the week, so I'm not really overly concerned about it. But yeah, so look for Nemesis Immortal, look for Alpine review, Iron Grenadier, Bat. I might do Bison Player 2 because I have that coming in, but I'm going to get out of here. I know normally I give you guys 3 hours, but I did give you 36 plus hours over the weekend. But yeah, I want to get stuff taken care of tonight. So tomorrow morning I can just roll, take my daughter to school, go to my dad's house, take care of his dog, and then head myself back into work. So please, if you still want to donate to Toys for Tots, you can send it directly to me through my PayPal of LJFronterra, LJFrontra @gmail.com. That is my PayPal. Anything else that we get, if anyone wants to, I will just put it into the account. And when we when we do it at the end of the month, go to Sergeant Red's. I'm going to show you guys. I think we're going to do a video for all of this so everyone can kind of see the fruit of your labor, because I'm just going to say it again. Thank you very much. All I did was give my time, and you guys jumped on here and you made it awesome, and you're going to make a lot of kids here extremely happy. So anyway, thank you very much. I will see you guys. Oh, next week I might be late next week. I got a banquet for my daughter, so I gotta see how that works out. I'm not sure what time. I think it's at 6 o'clock, so it should be done by then. But I might be running a little late next week, but I will probably be here. So again, thank you for the Streamathon. Have a wonderful night.